Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon out of the theaters a week late. Pray for the devil. Is it this kind of pray? RRRR! Roar for the devil. What's it about? It's a very simple premise, actually. You have a nun or a sister who works at a hospital in Boston, Massachusetts, and now she's slowly going up the ranks of becoming an exorcist or be able to perform exorcist. But what has happened in her past? Will she be able to go over that hump and do the good things of the Lord? Let's find out. Don't know what I'm doing, but it's a good movie. This is painfully PG-13, just like The Invitation and most movies like this. It's hard not to find a PG-13 movie horror movie that's like unneeded CGI, unneeded tropes, and just things that happen in every single movie, and also has the same ending as well. So with that, I'll get the positives of the movie. I do think they had an interesting side story with one of the priests and his sister being raped and then losing the baby and having the shame and guilt, and that's why she's possessed. And that storyline is actually very interesting, of maybe you're not possessed because someone is forcefully going into you. Maybe you're possessed because you're kind of opening the doors for the possession because you feel shame. So having that storyline actually makes you think like, oh, that's a different way of thinking why some people might be possessed or need to be exorcised. Not exercise like riding a treadmill, but exercise with the rosary. And then I do think it's an hour and a half. It goes pretty quick. The story is boom, boom, boom. However, that boom, boom, boom story puts a lot of characters that maybe you have a little bit more backstory, but just completely throws them to the side. And I do think the acting performed by the main three people, the two main priests and the girl that plays the nun, they do a pretty good job overall. But like I said, this is painfully PG-13, painfully just unneeded CGI, especially the first exorcism scene when it's with the hair, climbing up the walls. That's just tropes that are completely not needed in a possession movie. Like when you look at this versus the Exorcism of Emily Rose, Exorcism of Emily Rose is more, you could say, grounded. This was going into the more grounded territory, but they decided to go in that tropey route where you're like, I don't need to see that. That is just so PG-13 and it is so not scary. And then the ending of the movie as well. It's just like, you understand they're trying to go for a sequel, but there is absolutely no need to do the random jump scare at the very end. And every single PG-13 movie, horror movie, does that just random jump scare out of nowhere. Where it's like, I got him! And here's the credits, the end. So you're just like, oh, come on now. And then finally, just like The Invitation, this one, the last battle sequence in the bottom of the hospital in Boston, Massachusetts, so hard to see what is going on. You're like, oh, did that person die? Who's coming out of the shadows? Is there really a shadow, or is this wrong lighting for the camera and what they're doing with the filming? So you have stuff like that. While there were some cool effects with water, like, water becoming hot in the holy water, like, okay, that's pretty cool to look at. But it just leaves so many things, I wouldn't say unanswered, but just bleh, where you're just like, you're not going to talk more about the backstory of who this girl is, Hannah, and this sister, and what happened when she was 15 years old. Like, we're just going to stop it. Like, the end. Like, there's no, like, you're just going to give us that plot point and be like, ta-da! And the end, you're just like, you got to give me more. You got to give me more. Like I said, the ending, it feels like they're going for sequel territory. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of the movies that was delayed because of COVID. I really don't know. Overall, Pray for the Devil, you've seen it a million times before. Yeah, there's some cool story elements they add into it, like the priest's sister, and then the whole, maybe it's shame that is opening the door for some of these people to be possessed. And the main three actors and actresses do a pretty fine job. But other than that, the CGI not needed. The possession just tropes are a galore throughout this movie, as well as being a prey. Roar! I didn't feel that much roaring with the devil. So Pray for the Devil will receive a 1.5 out of 5 with Futons. It goes at 30%. So see the critics and user scores gave this one. So you have critics at 18% with 28 of them. Audience score is 67. That's a horrible whistle. With 250. No critic consensus. I'm actually shocked it's that high. Yawn! Oh, not because of the movie, but just because, yeah, Colin Salmon. Is that the guy from the original Resident Evil movie? I'm about to figure this out for you guys. He was! He was the leader that got cut in the little triangles. That's right. I knew he looked familiar. Anyway, 1830-67. Chase out with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think is Bhutontopia. You Bhuftonians. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. And don't worry. Pray for God. Roar for the devil. Roar!